You want a six-figure salary. You're not happy with your present job. How about looking for something in technology? Now, I'm bringing in Abida Betty. He's a new friend who I've made through texting and now online. And I'm bringing him to the wall right now. Abid is an expert in technology jobs. And I'm looking at a list, Abid, of the top 10 technology jobs that are available right now. And almost all of them, almost like half of them are north of six figures. And the other half are just like real close to six-figure jobs. I hope that you got that same list there in front of you, Abid. By the way, welcome to the program. Tell people what you do for a living. How do you pay the bills day to day, Abid?
Hey, Sergio, good morning. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
You're absolutely right. In terms of technology, with the way we are sort of creating, the amount of data we are creating, the amount of use of technology in our day-to-day life, more and more jobs that we're creating are obviously in the technology space. The way I make a living, I'm an entrepreneur. I have started several different companies. The one that I run today is called iCode, icodeschool.com. We teach kids computer programming and robotics, along with soft skills such as critical thinking, presentation skills, problem-solving skills, collaboration, teamwork. So that's what I do. That's how I make a living.
I would suspect that you are of the opinion, and I am because of a friend, a local friend who's into coding and educating kids when it comes to coding. I'm convinced that teaching these kids coding and this technology should be part of the core curriculum at all American public schools. I just suspect that we are so far behind the curve in comparison to the rest of the world in teaching and developing and graduating kids that know how to survive in a highly technical world, and our country may suffer as a result. Seems to me like you're working like a friend of mine down here, Drew. You guys are working on the periphery. You guys should be like inside schools, man. How do we make that happen?
It's absolutely right, Sergio, in terms of we ought to be teaching kids because programming is the language of the future. And if you don't know it, we are at a severe disadvantage.
It's the language of now, man.
Absolutely.
We're late to the game.
Yeah. I mean, it's never too late to start something. But the issue that we have at the schools is two things. One, the technology changes pretty rapidly. And therefore, having a curriculum that's changing dynamically is very difficult for the school districts just because of the process of getting it all approved. The second aspect is the hardware that is needed and the teaching, sort of the jobs or the salary that you have to pay for somebody to teach these courses. So those are some of the issues that the school district face, because then along with that, you're competing with the geography, the history, and so on and so forth. So that's what makes it problematic for school districts to kind of keep up with these things.
Wake up, people. Wake up, parents. Wake up, business owners. Yeah, we need it. Our kids definitely need this. Otherwise, we're going to be paying for it. I would argue we're probably already paying for it when it comes to national security, job opportunity. We're missing that skill set. We're not graduating it from traditional public schools, and we're graduating another class by the millions this year, and they're ill-prepared. Yep. Okay, let's look at this list of the top 10 technology-based jobs. Number one on the list that makes $108,000. That's the median salary, people. That's just in the middle. Can you imagine making $200K or much more than that? What is a data scientist, Abid? What does that person do?
That is a great question, because there's a lot of sort of confusion in terms of what exactly a data scientist, does. And first of all, let me kind of tell you why we need data scientists. Just for some stats, Sergio, 90% of the data that has been created till to date has been created in the last 2 years alone. 90% of all the data that we have created, 90% of that has been created in the last 2 years alone. We create 2.5 quintillion bytes of data daily. Now, I looked up what quintillion is. That is 1 followed by 18 zeros. That's what one.
North of quadrillion, you're in the quintile now. You're in the quintillion.
I'm the quintile.
Wow.
Every minute, American uses 2.7 million gigabyte of data. Every minute, Instagram users post 46,750 photos.
That's now.
Every minute, 15 million texts are sent. And every minute, there are 3.6 million Google searches are done.
How does a data scientist fit into that? What does he do? She do? What do they do?
They are the one that uses the data to make sense of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
They do research on large volume of data from a variety of sources. They interpret this data and implement, what the data tells you, because to find out, what information, makes sense, meaningful. So data science is a scientific process of methods or systems and algorithms that are used to obtain awareness of data in a bunch of different forms.
You just said the nasty A word, algorithm. Now, I got a few seconds left, Abid. For somebody who might be thinking of entering and becoming a program manager or software engineer or data engineer, that individual needs to be good at math, I would suspect. Needs to brush up on math
Absolutely.
before they go into that, right?
Yes.
All right. So if you're not good at math, and I'm not good at math, then I need to be real good at radio. Stay here. Abid, it's a pleasure, brother. We'll call you back. Abid Abedi is an expert in technology jobs. Number 6 on that top 10 list, DevOps engineer. Man, I have no idea. I just know there's some robot technology in there. $106,000 a year. A data engineer, $100,000 a year. Software engineer, at least $104,000 a year. Thank you, Abid. Abid Abedi, expert in technology jobs, joining us on The Wall.